go make a purchase. They go into a dealership to buy. They're excited about that vehicle. They really are. They're excited about that potential purchase. But they dread dealing with that lying, thieving, stealing, snake in the grass salesperson. As a matter of fact, when they're in the car or the truck or the SUV riding to the dealership, they're plotting and planning. And they say, hey, listen, when we get in there, don't you say anything. Don't smile. Don't show any teeth at all. We're going to spend $300 and that's just it. And we're not doing anything more than $1,000 down. No matter what they say, no matter what they do. They're planning. They're plotting. They're getting it together. They've gone online. As a matter of fact, if you Google how to live a longer life, in the upper right-hand corner of Google, you'll see a number. And it might be 5 million, 10 million, 40 million, 100 million. What this is how that dictates, that determines how many websites are relevant to that particular search term. So if you type in how to live a longer life, maybe 40, 50 million potential sites come up. If you typed in how to avoid being ripped off buying a car, more than 100 million to come up. Which means people are more afraid of being ripped off buying a vehicle than they are concerned about living a longer life. Which means that when your typical salesperson, when an individual shows up to the dealership, the first thing they do, number one, you got a team full of salespeople standing outside the store, standing in a circle, looking at the customer as they come in like vultures staring at meat, waiting on it to die so they can attack it. So everybody's standing around staring at this person, licking their lips and their chops. Customer pulls in, they jump out the vehicle. Now you got either one person racing towards them, and they go up there to them, and the first thing they want to ask them is, can I help you? Now I'm going to cover two of the silliest questions a salesperson can ask. Number one is, can I help you? That is a stupid question. Here's why that is. Think about what it means when a salesperson or an employee, period, says, can I help you? What you're really saying is it okay if I do for you what my employer hired me to do? Hey, even though they're paying me to be here, is it okay if I help you? Even though that's what they want me to do. That's insane, because when you say, can I help you? And they say, nope, just looking. Get back, salesperson. Where do you go from there? You're done. And anything else that you try to do, now you're violating me. You asked me, I told you get away from me. Now you're being too pushy. But we set it up. 9 out of 10 salespeople, I'll say almost 9.5 out of 10 salespeople will approach a person and say, can I help you? The second question that is silly is, how you doing? Now you might say, well, how you doing, Brian? How is that a crazy question? Let me explain to you why. In our society, okay, we are programmed to respond to certain situations a certain way. Think about yourself. When that happy-go-lucky salesperson come bouncing up to you, what do you typically say when they say, can I help you? Oh, no, I'm just looking. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm straight. I'm just looking. Y'all do it. All of you have told a salesperson, I'm just looking. I'm good. Knowing you were there to get something. You just didn't want to be bothered with them at that time. But let's just say the item doesn't have a price on it, or you don't see your size. Now you're looking for, hey, listen, where are the salespeople? Damn, I can't find anybody when I need it. Well, we told the person we didn't need it, but now that we're ready to buy, or we're going into buy mode, now we want them to come help us. That's because people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care first. Okay? So when you approach a person and say, how you doing? In sales, your objective is to ask questions that allow you to get information, but take this prospect down the pathway of the process, okay? So you have to keep them as positive-minded as possible as you take them through that process. So when you ask somebody, how you doing? Seeing as you have no idea what happened in their life that night, what happened in their life the day before or that morning, you don't know. So when you ask somebody, how you doing, what you maybe end up doing is having them take a mental trip back through all of the negative experiences they went through. How many times have you approached somebody and said, how you doing today? And they be like, case of the Mondays, or case of the Wednesdays, or man, woke up this morning, stubbed my toe, my car broke down, the dog got sick, got stuck at a light, whatever it is. And by the time they get done, you're like, I wish I would have never said anything to them, you know? Because they went through all of this negative stuff. Now, when you ask somebody a question like how you doing, and it forces them to take that mental trip backwards, they have just taken 3 steps back. Now you have to work just to build them back up to a level even keel before you can proceed, you know, with everything else. And another reason why saying how you doing is a bad question is because, again, we are programmed to respond to certain things in certain ways. And every question you ask is designed, should be, to get information. The only time you ask a closed-end question is when you know that the only logical response is yes. Now this is important. A closed-end question is one where the only response is yes or no. The reason why it's called closed is because it minimizes the information, because the only thing needed is a yes or a no answer. In sales, the only time you should ask a closed-end question is when the only logical response is what?
Yes.
Yes, right. The other type of question is what's called an open-ended question. And that's where you ask a question that is designed to generate feedback from them. Okay? So when we ask people certain questions, you have to have an intention with the questions that you're asking. Most salespeople, they don't hone their process. Over 90% of salespeople never read a book on sales. Those of you who read my book already have done more than over 90% of the people in the sales business today. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Those of you who read that book, I guarantee you, if you keep up with that, you are on your way to getting where you want to go. Trust me, because I'm willing to bet less than 15% of the people in this room read it. I would say less than 15% of the people even attempted to start reading it. But then we have a few, small few, who actually read it. So if I had to judge off that, and not saying this is a direct indicator, but it gives me a good idea of who's really serious and who's trying to really shorten that learning curve down and get out there and make money as quick as possible. Because you determine how fast or how slow you get out there and you earn. The beautiful thing about this business is there is no cap, there are no limitations. You want to make $10,000, $15,000 a month, you can do it. But you must be prepared to put the effort in to get it. Remember, people have a $100,000 a year taste with a $10,000 a year work ethic. The two don't mesh. So if we ask somebody, how you doing? That's a program response. And I'll show you how. Mike, would you do me a favor? Would you stand up at that door right there? And you and I are going to walk towards each other. I'm going to stand down here. And I'm going to walk on this side. You on that side. When we get close, I'd like for you to ask me how I'm doing.
Hey, how you doing?
Man, I'm glad that you asked. You know, in reality, I'm looking to lose a little bit of weight. Started balding around 28. Thought about going the Rogaine route, but chose against that. Look for my business and my companies to go more international. And I got a daughter in college, and I got two boys in high school. One plays football. The other one's in drama. Trying to figure that one out. I have this thing with eating late at night, which has helped me get a little bit of the stomach here, But thank you. Now, if you would ask somebody how you doing, and they stopped and they responded to you like that, would you think they were crazy? Think they were crazy, right? If you said, hey, how you doing, sir? And they just stopped like, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and doing that. Would you look at them like, man, and try to get away from them as quick as you could?
Well, that's
That sounds like my daddy though. He would definitely stop and like give you the third degree. He'd be like, yeah, since you asked, let me talk your ear off for an hour and a half, even though you might have stuff to do.
But the reality of it is, if most people stopped and responded like that, folks would think they were crazy. They would say, man, this person is weird. All I did is say, how you doing? And they want to stop and talk to me about it. But the crazy thing is that is a person that stops and responded like that crazy, or is the person who asked the question and did not expect the response or did not want the response crazy?
The person who asked it.
Right. So in our society, when we say how you doing to people, we don't give a damn about how they really doing. As a matter of fact, we feel offended and they're crazy if they really respond. Think about how often do you see two people say, how you doing? How you doing? They just keep walking.
Oh, I do that.
Hey, how you doing today? How you doing today?
I do that all the time.
Exactly. So when a customer comes onto the lot and you say that to them, you are no different than the stranger in the grocery store they said it to, the homeless guy on the street they said it to when they gave $1, then you're no different. And they don't believe that you want information with just generic type of greetings. Now when we go to people's houses, what's on the floor mat of a person's house?
Welcome.
Why is welcome on the floor mat? To help them feel what?
Welcome.
Starts with a C.
Comfort.
Comfortable, right? Remember, their anxiety is on 10 when they're pulling up to the dealership. They're nervous. And guess what? They are looking for a reason to disqualify you. They are looking for a chink in your armor. They are looking for you to prove them right that you're sleazy, thieving, lying, and conniving. You don't care about helping them. All you care about is making money. And if you chase the money, you'll always be broke. It's bigger than the money. You have to give this person the most positive experience that they possibly have. You don't have to be the most knowledgeable about the vehicles. You don't have to be the least expensive. But you do have to be the most customer focused. Okay? Period. Matter of fact, being the cheapest, you won't make any money. There's no dealership that's the high price dealership at all time. They will go out of business. They will lose customers. There's no dealership that's the low price dealership all the time. They will lose money and they will go out of business. All dealerships operate within a very small window, give or take a couple of $100. But every consumer believes there's just big deal waiting at the next place. We all think that. And it is our responsibility as sales professionals, as product specialists, to educate these people on what it really takes to make a smart and safe buying decision and do business with you. It is our responsibility to educate them and to make it easy for them to do business with us. It's like when I see a salesperson, a customer comes up, they talk to them, person's in a rush, or one of the ignorant salespeople, ignorant don't even mean lacking knowledge, approach somebody and say, can I help you? How you doing? Person says no. Sales rep says, okay, well, I tell you what, I'm gonna be over here. If you find something you like, come find me. Or well, I tell you what, here's a card, give me a call when you're ready to go. Now I want you to think about that. Somebody that pulled onto our lot, giving us an opportunity to earn their business, to earn money that they worked 30, 40, 50 hours, 60 hours a week to get, every week for the month, and now they're looking to invest. They want to splurge on themselves. And we're gonna make them work to bring their money back to us. Have you ever forgot to call back your mothers, your fathers, your friends, your spouses, your partners? You ever forgot to call them back? Now we love these people, right? I forget to call my wife back all the time when I'm on the road. And I love her. I love her to life. Do you really believe that a stranger that spent 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes talking to you, maybe even an hour, in the everyday hustling, bustling of life is gonna remember you? No, you make it easy on them to remember you. By you making sure you stay in front of them, by you asking the right questions and you giving them an experience that is so different than everyone else, that you stand out head and shoulders. Because everybody that comes in may not buy that day. Some people really do have to wait to get paid. Some people really do have to wait on the cosign. Some people really do have to wait on their tax returns, whatever the reason is. Okay? But when you are ready, I want to put myself in first place position that I'm the one you call. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Okay? It really is about that. It really is about that. So everybody that you do is not going to buy right now. We like them to, but they're not. And I would say, and this is just my opinion, 80% of the people that show up that buy, all will tell you they're not buying anything today. I have no intention of getting anything today. And they drive out with something. Why? Because they know that that's a good defense mechanism for a weak salesperson that's only concerned with making commissions rather than helping me. Because if somebody say, well, look, I'm not buying anything today, you know what? Excellent. Let's just make it an information day. That's what other people that come in do that's in a situation like you. They just get information. So which one of the vehicles you want some information on? See, I didn't say, oh, not buying. Okay, well, here's my card. Holler at me when you're ready. That's crazy. Oh, you're not buying today? Excellent. Why don't we do this? Let's make it an information day. All right? So which one of our vehicles you want some information on? They didn't leave, right? They're still there. So you still have an opportunity till they jump in their car and they leave.
So